What's up guys, welcome back to another video on the Griff channel. Today we're going to be going through our 2022 FIFA World Cup predictions. We got Pete here joining us today. I'm excited for you guys to see our analysis on each group. We're going to go through every single group, and then we're going to go through the knockouts and eventually pick our own winners. I'm going to have my predictions, Pete's going to have his. I want you guys to pay attention. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Who's got the better predictions out of both of us? And who's your prediction? Who are you predicting to win the 2022 FIFA World Cup? We know it's a little early, so I might have an updated one closer to the World Cup, but for now, this is what we're doing. So hope you guys enjoy our predictions and enjoy our analysis. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe and follow for more. So let's get started, boys. Group A. Alrighty guys, let's get started with Group A here. I'm going to give my predictions and then Pete's going to give his predictions. We're going to go through all 8 groups, bump into the knockout stage, and then claim our winner. In Group A, we have Qatar, the host nation, Ecuador, Senegal, and Netherlands. For me, I have to put Senegal at number 1. I think their combination of talent across the top leagues in the world and connection of their team, I think is going to put them at number 1 in this group. I think Netherlands comes in at number 2. While they haven't impressed in the big competitions in recent years, while they haven't been as sharp as we typically know them to be, I think their talent is going to be on a different level than Ecuador and Qatar, and so that's why I see them clutching up, coming in at number 2. I think Qatar, being the host nation, I don't see them qualifying for the round of 16 in any way. Being a nation of pretty close to 300,000 people, I don't see them fielding a team to be able to get out of the group stage. But I do have them coming in at number 3. I don't see them bowing out. I think they're going to impress, but not quite enough. So I've got Senegal at number 1, Netherlands at number 2, Qatar, the host nation, at number 3, and Ecuador, a wild card in my opinion, coming in at number 4.
I actually have a little different group. So first, I have Netherlands coming in. And second, Senegal. My reasoning behind that is Senegal in general, they haven't impressed me. I kind of think they're a little overrated. They struggled against Egypt in the AFCON and World Cup qualifiers. I just don't think they have what it takes to top a group. Third, I have Ecuador, which means fourth place I have Qatar. Qatar, even though they're host nation, I don't think they're going anywhere. I honestly think they're going to end up with 0 points. They did not impress me when they played the U.S. back in the Gold Cup, and I just think they're a very weak team.
Alrighty guys, diving into Group B, one of the most exciting groups in the World Cup, especially as USA fans. We've got England, we've got Iran, we have USA, and we have Wales. In this group, it's really, really tough for me to predict. Admittedly enough, I don't pay attention to the United States men's national team as much as I used to. I will dive back into it, I promise. I have England coming in at number 1 here. I just think of their experience and their talent overall. I think they will come in at number 1 in this group. I have the United States on the rise for sure, one of the youngest teams coming into the tournament and one of the most talented. We're definitely on the rise. I think they're going to come in at number 2 here. This is a really, really tough group. I think Wales has a good team, but I think a little bit inexperienced and getting to the big stage. I think Iran, while a little bit of a dark horse and not many people know too much about them, I think they've been playing very, very well recently. I think they only lost 1 in World Cup qualifiers. So coming in at number 3, we've got Iran, and then I have Wales coming in at number 4.
All right, now my Group B. I'm going to cut to the chase real quick. England's coming first. I don't care what anybody says that they've been playing bad recently or they lost to Hungary twice. They're England, and there's no way they're not coming in first, no matter what. Second is the USA. I think the USA is definitely a level above Wales and Iran. I just feel like there's just, many could say, a little bit of a skill gap. And then third I have Wales, which would make Iran fourth. I think Wales is coming off heavy momentum coming from their late qualifier, and I feel like with Bale going to LAFC, it really gives them good playing time, so you can get good form going into the World Cup. And then Iran fourth. I would have them third, but they just recently fired their manager, and I don't think that's going to go good for them this soon to the World Cup.
Alrighty guys, moving on to Group C. In Group C, we have Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. Gotta tell you guys, I don't see Argentina coming in any place other than first in this group. They are so hot right now. They have a lot of talent, both veterans and some young talent. I think they're going to do really, really well this World Cup. I've got them coming in at number 1. I think a little bit of surprise here. I've got Poland coming in at number 2. Mexico has historically done fairly well. They've been a strong team in the past couple years, but as of in recent year or two, they've definitely fallen off a little bit, and I don't think they're going to be as sharp this year. So I've got Poland coming in at number 2. Admittedly, I don't know enough about Saudi Arabia to say. I think they're going to be a competitive team, but I will say with Mexico's experience, I have them coming in at number 3. So I've got Argentina coming in at number 1, Poland at number 2, Mexico at 3, and Saudi Arabia at 4. Argentina and Poland moving on from this group.
All right. Just like Griffin, I have Argentina coming first. I don't think there's a situation where they don't come out here with 9 points. I think they've been just that team the past 2 or 3 years, and just with Messi, with arguably his last World Cup, you could say, I don't think there's any other way they come out first. Second, I'm going to go surprise pick here. I'm going to actually go Saudi Arabia. This decision, it might change once the U.S. faces them in, I think, September, and I get to really know more about the team, but I really think that Saudi Arabia is actually a stronger team compared to Mexico and Poland. And then third, I'm putting Poland because I think just due to, compared to Mexico, with the competition they face and just how Mexico's been playing, because, I mean, I think the whole culture in Mexico has just been shooken up. I mean, their entire department is gone, like their federation, and I really think that Poland, with Robert Lewandowski leading the pack, can really make a strong push for third place.
Alrighty, guys, moving on to Group D. In Group D, we have the reigning World Cup champions, France. We have Australia, Denmark, and Tunisia. You guys know where I'm going here. It's got to be France at number 1, acknowledging wholeheartedly the World Cup curse. However, in a group like this, I just don't see them slipping up too much. It would be one thing if they had some really talented or some top teams in their group. I just don't see them failing to get out of this group with the talent that they have. It's not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen. So we're going to move on. We got Denmark at 2, a really, really exciting team from the Euros that really made a deep push, especially rallying around Christian Eriksen. That was a really, really cool thing to see. So we've got them at 2. Australia just kind of squeaked in, and I don't believe they really deserve to beat Peru in that World Cup qualifier. So I don't have them coming in at 3rd. I've got Tunisia at 3rd and Australia coming in at number 4. France and Denmark moving on from Group D.
For Group D, first I have France because the World Cup curse is not real. Second, I have Denmark because I feel like they're a great tournament team. You know, they did very well in the Euros. I just feel like they have a lot of momentum going for them in this group. Third, I have Tunisia because I don't think it's really possible for anyone to get below Australia because this is one of the worst Australian sides we've seen in decades, many could say. I just don't think they really even deserve a spot in this tournament.
Alrighty, guys, moving on to Group E. In Group E, we have Spain, we have Costa Rica, Germany, and Japan. A tough group for me to predict for sure. I think this one definitely has some wild cards, and my prediction, everybody's prediction, could be entirely wrong. For this group, I have Germany coming in at number 1. They've stepped down a little bit on their pedestal as kind of the number 1 team in the world for a little while, and I don't think they've been quite at that level, but looking at the talent that they have, the midfield that they have with Joshua Kimmich, with Goretzka, with Gundogan, with Manuel Neuer in goal, I don't see them failing to get out of this group, and I don't see them failing to get number 1. So I've got them at number 1 with the talent and experience that they have. Spain, I think an up-and-coming team with both veterans and very exciting young players. I've got them at 2. Granted, it's a little bit basic. I just don't see them not surpassing Costa Rica and Japan. I've got Japan coming in at 3, a team that was really, really exciting to watch in the previous World Cup. And Costa Rica coming in at number 4. They went on that kind of last-minute run to sneak into the qualifying and just kind of made it into the World Cup. So, yes, an experienced team, but I've got Japan coming in at number 3. Germany and Spain advancing from Group E.
In my Group E, I have Germany going first because I don't feel like any other teams in this group will really have much of a chance. In second, I have actually Costa Rica. In third, I have Spain because I feel like even though this is a very class Spain side, I don't feel like Spain is up to where they used to be. I mean, when you just look at their team in a whole, like it's just not the quality it used to be. And Costa Rica has that experience. They've had the same team for like a decade now. I just really feel like with some like World Cup magic, they can come in second. In Japan, I feel like this is just not going to be Japan's year. I don't feel like this is a group for them to do what they did in 2018. I just feel like it'd be a World Cup to forget for them.
Moving on to Group F now. In my opinion, probably the most exciting group. I'm super pumped to see what happens here. We've got Belgium, we have Canada, we have Morocco, and we have Croatia. As you guys can see, I'm definitely a little bit of a Belgium supporter. Big fan of Romelu Lukaku, Kevin De Bruyne, everybody who's played there in the past years. So rooting for them a little bit, but putting aside the bias, they are definitely one of the most talented teams and one of the teams that can go the farthest. I don't see them not coming in at number 1 in this group. Coming in at number 2, this is a really tough choice. I've got to go with Croatia. While they've definitely not necessarily fallen off, while their players have aged since that 2018 World Cup run, the experience of knowing what it takes to get to the semifinals and the finals of a World Cup is really special, and I don't see them falling short of getting past Canada and Morocco. Again, a tough one. Canada went on a really special run in World Cup qualifying, but I just don't see it happening for them to get through even to 2 or 3 simply because of that little run. I think a little bit of inexperience will kind of catch Canada a little bit here. They're going to come in at number 4. We have Morocco, who has not looked sharp recently, coming in at number 3. Belgium and Croatia, once again, a little bit basic, but I just think Croatia's experience nudges them above Morocco and Canada.
I have Belgium coming first. I think their quality will just simply take them to the top of this group because I feel like coming in second, Croatia, I don't think Croatia will challenge them too much in this group. I think, like Griffin said, it's an age side, but I think with the experience and especially the midfield of like Modric and Kovacic will really just help them get past the group stage. Third, I have Canada. Many people think Canada's World Cup qualifying run was a little bit of a fluke, which I'm kind of on that bus as well. But I think just with their momentum and how Morocco, they don't have Ziyech, and they looked very poor against the USA, I think that Canada definitely comes third. But if Morocco does somehow get Ziyech back before the World Cup happens, I think Morocco could switch with Canada maybe, but as of right now, it's
Alrighty, guys, moving on to Group G. We have Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. Once again, Brazil, I think, will take the cake in this group. A really special side. Again, a lot of veterans, a lot of exciting young players, and I think they're going to be special this year. Coming in at number 2, I think we have Serbia. A lot of people would go with Switzerland at this number 2 spot. I think Serbia has a lot of, I guess you could say, hidden talent that I don't think people are fully realized. So I think they're going to come in at number 2 in this group. A lot of experience, a lot of talent. I think they're going to do well this year. Coming in at number 3, I've got Cameroon. Again, a side that is not necessarily anywhere near their historic Cameroon days and what we know them as Cameroon to be. However, I think they've got some good talent. I think they're going to make a deep run to push for that 3rd spot. And then I have Switzerland coming in at number 4. Definitely going to make it tight. This group is not going to be easy. It's not going to be necessarily a runaway. Switzerland's a very talented side as well, but I just don't see them getting by. I think Cameroon and Switzerland fall short of Brazil and Serbia moving on to the round of 16.
I also have Brazil coming first in this group. Like many other groups in this World Cup, I feel like there's the clear favorite, and I think that's Brazil. I just don't think there's the other teams don't really challenge them too much in this group. Second, I'm going to hit Switzerland because I feel like their Euros run wasn't really a fluke, and I feel like with Serbia, even though their team is technically experienced age-wise, I feel like they're kind of inexperienced as a unit, and I feel like in a World Cup, that's the most valuable thing. I'm going to put them at 3rd, and then that makes Cameroon 4th. I don't know too much about Cameroon, but like Griffin said, I think they're past their glory days, and their best days are definitely behind them.
Alrighty, guys. finishing off with Group H, the final group in the group stage. We have Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and Korea. Portugal, I know they had a tough run of it in qualifying. They didn't do very well. However, looking at their team, they are a tremendously talented side with talent across the board. And whenever you have Cristiano Ronaldo leading your team, you always have a chance. We've got Uruguay coming in at number 2. I just think their combination of talent and experience, I think they're going to do well in this World Cup. I've got them coming in at number 2. Again, I know a little bit of an up and down side as of late, but I just think they're going to pull through to come in at number 2. We've got Korea, a team with a lot of young talent. Heung-min Son, obviously a star for them. They're going to be a team that's going to push. They're going to make it tight for Uruguay, but I don't think they get it done. They're going to come in at number 3. And then Ghana, a little bit of an unknown team with some good talent. Just a little bit of up and down for me. I think they're going to be a little bit of a wild card, but coming in at number 4, I just don't think they match the talent level of Uruguay and South Korea. Portugal and Uruguay moving on from Group H.
For my Group H, I think, in my opinion, this will be the most interesting and the tightest group of them all. But I have Portugal coming first. Like Ruben said, I think with Ronaldo, I mean, you always have a chance, and I just really think they have the talent to finish first. Second place, I have Ghana, because in third place I have Uruguay.
Wow.
Because they kind of go hand in hand. So Ghana, second place. I feel like with all the new additions Ghana has got recently, such as Hudson-Odoi, Tariq Lamptey, and Inaki Williams, I really feel like their talent will surpass Uruguay, because I think Uruguay, they're at a transition point. You know, they have players like Godin, Suarez, but they also have the young players like Nunez and Valverde, and I kind of think that they're like at a little awkward stage in their national team. I just don't feel like that's going to work for them in the World Cup, and that will leave South Korea at number 4.
Alrighty, guys, moving on to the round of 16. Here is where it gets exciting. We've got a lot of exciting matchups. I know as I went through my group stage, I didn't entirely pick too many crazy wild cards, but when you think about the World Cup, while there's always going to be some underdogs, I wouldn't say it's a tournament where there are a ton of huge upsets at all times. Teams like France, teams like Argentina, teams like Brazil typically do very, very well, and at the very minimum get through to the round of 16. So this is where we have right now. We've got match 49, the first round of the round of 16. The first match, we've got Senegal and USA, a very, very tough one to predict. I think that if the USA is killing it, if they're doing really well, this is one that they can pull. I think Senegal has a lot of talent. However, I've got to go with my boys from the USA on this one. I think Senegal's a very, very talented team. I just think they're a little bit of up and downness is going to catch them here. I think the USA is going to be ready to prove a point in this World Cup. I have them moving on to the quarterfinals and knocking off Senegal. We've got Argentina and Denmark. Denmark, a really talented side, one that has a lot of camaraderie to make a deep run. I just don't see them getting past Lionel Messi and Argentina. We've got England and the Netherlands. Again, both very talented teams. I just don't see the Netherlands pulling this off with their a little bit of inexperience and a little bit of up and downness. I just don't see them making it through. France, Poland, really, really easy one for me. We've got France moving on. Germany, Croatia, once again a tight game. Croatia is a team that can make a deep run with that experience. I just don't see it happening with the age that they're on, with the age that they're getting to with their team. I think Germany is a really, really strong side this year. I think they're going to knock off Croatia. We've got Brazil and Uruguay, a big battle of the South American teams. I've got Brazil going through here. I think this is where Uruguay's run goes to an end. Belgium and Spain, another very tight matchup, but I have Belgium winning. Spain, as talented side, I just don't think they're going to be poised to make a deep run this year with the kind of middle ground of their team. We've got Portugal and Serbia, again, a fairly easy choice for me. We've got Portugal moving on to the quarterfinals over Serbia.
Starting off in the round of 16, we have Netherlands and USA. I will keep my USA bias out of this, but I think, like Griffin said, if the USA are moving, I really think that they can make the push and honestly get past many teams such as Netherlands, Denmark, like all those teams. I mean, we won't play Denmark, but you know what I mean. So I have USA winning versus Netherlands. Match 50, Argentina versus Denmark. I personally don't think this one's going to be close. I think Denmark's a good, experienced team, but Argentina is just a different type of team, and I have them moving on. England versus Senegal. I really want Senegal to win this one, but And I feel like this one actually might go to pens based on how close they are, because I just don't feel like England is a tournament team. I'm going to put England next. France. All right, Germany, Croatia. So
Fair.
It's a tough one, and I'm going to have to go Germany. I just don't think Croatia is just going to have it in them. I don't think they have the depth to really hold it up. There's too many aging players. I think it's over for them. Brazil, Ghana. I want there to be some magic in here, but I'm going to have to go Brazil. Belgium, Costa Rica. I really feel like Costa Rica could honestly pull it off, because based on how they did in World Cup qualifying, they know how to sit back deep. They know how to take on attacks, and like they know how to just defend the entire game and make their breaks when they need to. And I'm actually picking Costa Rica here. I have Costa Rica beating Belgium.
Big choice. I had them coming in at 4th in the group. Pete's got them knocking off Belgium in the round of 16.
Portugal, Switzerland. Usually, I would say this would be a close game, but with Ronaldo and definitely his last World Cup, I feel like he'll pull through here, maybe bag 2 goals and send them to the quarterfinals.
Alrighty, guys, moving on to the quarterfinals. We have 8 teams left. This is where the big hitters lie. We have all the top teams in the world coming down to the wire. Match 57, USA and Argentina. Hate to do it, but I just don't see Argentina losing the experience and talent that they have. I don't believe that the United States is going to be able to pull off that upset. We've got Germany and Brazil. Again, a really, really great matchup. A rematch of the 2014 7-1 thrashing. I think Brazil gets their revenge. A really, really talented team. I don't see them losing to Germany. I think they're going to be really, really hot this year. We've got England and France. As Pete said, England has not been a tournament team. I think the pressure gets to them here. I think France, again, is going to have a lot of pressure on their side as well. But I think in that matchup, I think France's experience is going to take them over them. Belgium and Portugal, a really, really intriguing matchup as well. This is really, really tough for me. We've got Portugal, a tremendously talented team with Ronaldo head in the pack. I think talent-wise, at this point in time, I think Portugal is leading that battle. Belgium, a really, really tough team that typically doesn't do well in tournaments. This is a little bit of a toss-up for me. I hate to do it, but I'm going to have to go Portugal in this round. Moving on to the semifinals.
To start off the quarterfinals for me, USA versus Argentina. I know Argentina will pull this off against the USA, because I think the USA is not up to that level, and Argentina has been a red-hot team for the past 2 years. Similar to Griffin, I think Brazil will get the revenge and put it to sleep that the 7-1 loss to Germany in 2014. I think they're definitely the better team, and I feel like Germany is just going to probably just gas out by this point. England versus France. So this would be a tough one, because I think if England's made it this far, they're going to have the momentum, but France is such a deep team that I don't see them losing. They could start their second team and probably win. So I have them moving on.
Might get some controversy in the comments.
Costa Rica versus Portugal. So I have I'm joking. I have Portugal. Portugal's winning.
I was about to go crazy on that one.
Portugal's going to the semifinals.
Oh, brother.
And
4 teams left. We are on to the semifinals of the 2022 World Cup. We have Argentina versus Brazil. We've got France versus Portugal. Really, really tough to predict this one. We've got Argentina, a red-hot team. Brazil, a really, really experienced and talented team. Battle of the South American powerhouses. I got to go Brazil on this one. I think just their talent, again, as I've mentioned before, a combination of really, really experienced and talented players, leadership from the back, goalkeeping, scoring options, rising talent such as Vinicius Jr. I think they're going to overtake Lionel Messi and Argentina in this one. Lionel Messi's World Cup hopes die at the semifinals. We've got France and Portugal. Again, a really, really difficult one to predict. I don't believe France is going to get back. I think, again, Portugal, a team with a lot of pressure on them. Cristiano Ronaldo's last World Cup. It's going to be really, really exciting to see for sure. And a team that's really, really talented. I think they're poised to make a deep run. I've got to go Portugal, knocking off the previous winners, France, to make it a Brazil and Portugal World Cup final.
Just like Griffin for the semifinals, I have Argentina facing Brazil. I feel Brazil is a deeper team, the more experienced team, the more, probably you could say even like energetic team, and the more rising stars, and you could say basically the better team. But Argentina has Messi, and they're going to the final.
Wow.
And the last semifinal, France versus Portugal. If people are watching this game, my prediction is correct. Everyone's going to root for Portugal. But I think this is where their chemistry is going to come back to bite them. I don't think they have what it takes. Or I do think they have what it takes, but I just don't think the link-up is there. And I think Ronaldo's hopes will come crashing down, and France will move on to the final.
The 2022 FIFA World Cup final between Brazil and Portugal. Again, a really tough one to predict. As you go through your entire World Cup predictions, it's really, really tough to see who's going to win, who's not going to win. And these predictions could be completely off, to be honest. I think Portugal is a team that could really get hot and get here, and on other days they couldn't. So here's what I've got in the final. I've got Brazil and Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo in his final World Cup, the best player of all time in my opinion. Portugal, a team that is so unbelievably talented across the board. I think they're a really, really great push to get to this final. I just don't see it happening. I think the pressure of Cristiano Ronaldo being in his last World Cup is going to get to not necessarily Cristiano, but I think it's going to get to their team. I think the actual pressure of being that team to surround him and to support him is going to get to Portugal. I think that's going to be a really, really tough push for them. I think they're going to make it to the finals. They're going to make it a really tough game for Brazil, but I think Brazil, the talent that they have, the experience that they have, the redemption chances that they're going to get, I think they're going to go claim their 6th World Cup title at a score of 3-1 over Portugal. Brazil is going to be the 2022 Qatar World Cup champions.
On the other hand here, I have Argentina facing France. I think France is, I'd say talent-wise, the better team. You know, they have more depth, and Argentina is probably a more experienced team. But I feel like if Argentina makes it this far, they're not going to fail, because you saw after the Copa America how all the players surrounded Messi right after the final whistle blew, and I forget what player, but one of the Argentinian players said that he was more happy for Messi to win the Copa America than he was himself. So I feel like just with that energy around the team, and Messi knowing this was probably his last ever World Cup, or honestly even international game it could be, I think he'll try and go out on top, or he will go out on top, and Argentina be crowned champs.
What's up, guys? I want to just say a big thank you. If you guys made it all the way through the video to the end, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. Want you guys to make sure to like if you enjoyed. Comment down below what you think of my predictions, what you think of Pete's predictions. If you guys want to go do your own, go to the Telegraph website, the FIFA World Cup Predictor. If you want to send them to me, and I will let you know what I think. Check me out at the Griff channel on Instagram. You can send it to me there, and I'll let you know what I think. Really big thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys are looking forward to some exciting new content on the channel. We're going to continue to put out some exciting content on a variety of different fields, especially focusing on a lot of soccer stuff with the World Cup coming up, with new seasons coming up. So I'm really excited to keep working on it for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you guys on the next one. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're enjoying, and join along for the journey. You want to say bye, Pete?
Bye.
All right, we will see you guys on the next one.